Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at our news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking with the 24 athletes who will be representing the U.S. at the World Wrestling Championships in Uzbekistan, September 8th through the 14th. All U.S. teams are now overseas in their final acclimation training camps, but before they left the Springs, we talked with them and the three coaches, the national coaches, about their goals and expectations. Last year, the U.S. Women's World Team placed third at the event with 3 medalists, and national coach Terry Steiner will now return with an experienced group that'll feature an Olympic medalist, 2 world champs, and 4 world medalists. Here's Coach Steiner.
The camp has been great. I mean, the energy has been very good. The intensity's been great. We've been able to, hit some areas that we needed to work on with each athlete and as a team. So, I feel good at this point. I mean, I think our preparation has been very good. We brought some cadet boys into camp as well, which definitely helped with the atmosphere and the intensity of things. So, I think, to this point we're looking good. We're injury-free right now, and that's important. And, we just need to finish out. We got about a week and a half left before we leave for overseas. So we just need to continue on and stay the course. And if we do that, I feel very comfortable with where we're at. Well, our goal is to win, and that has been our goal. I felt we've come close, but we've let it slip away. Our goal is to win this year, and I think to do that, there's some tough teams out there, and to do that, we're going to have a great performance. We understand that to win, we're gonna need between 5 and 6 medals. And we're going to need participation and involvement from every one of these team members, and it's not going to be given to us. There's a lot of great teams around the world, and they're going to come to get that title as well, and we're going to have to be ready to fight and scrap for it, and we've got to go in there with the right mindset. We have experience on this team, there's no doubt about it. I think what we also have this year is an expectation. And that's very important for us, to go over there with an expectation and not just hoping. And so that's what we've really focused on is, we've got to go in with the right mindset. We've got to expect battles along the way. Bottom line is we've got to want it more than the next person.
Bruce Burnett will return to the World Championships as the U.S. National Freestyle Coach, a position he previously held in '93 through 2000. During his previous years, Team USA won 2 World Team titles in freestyle, and the medal count at the '96 Olympic Games was out of sight. In 2013, the Freestyle World Team placed 5th under then national coach Zeke Jones, led by a gold medal performance, as you know, from Jordan Burroughs. Coach Burnett is very confident in his team's ability to improve on that performance.
It's just about showtime, and I would say the guys are doing really well, top to bottom, from Tony to Tervel. They've done a good job working in some weak areas, and they've gotten better in them. This group is extremely hard-working individuals, and so they're a little tired right now, like they should be, and sore, like they should be. So it's time to recover a little bit, but more importantly, some of the positions that they were having a little bit of trouble in or been scored in, we've worked on it and hopefully corrected them, and I feel really good about where they are in their training right now.
You got a chance to see some of the guys over in Baku in a very competitive tournament. How did that trip assist in their preparation?
Well, I'm going to say the competition over there is really good, and even for the younger guys it was very important, and even for a guy like Jake Varner, because he hasn't been on the mat or wrestled under these rules for very long. And so that was a good learning experience for him to feel that level of competition. What I saw over there is what I already know. The rest of the world is really tough, and you have to be prepared every time you step on the mat. And the opportunity to beat 4 or 5 really good guys back to back to back to back to back, that's what you have to prepare yourself for. And this group has really done a good job training for that. I think they're physically ready. They'll be rested and ready to wrestle when we get to Tashkent. Where we're at right now, we're tired and we're sore. So they're going to have 4 days to go home, rest a couple days, start their training again, and then when we get to Rome, we will fine-tune some things, work on our quickness, work on our speed, but it's all about rest, recovery, some technical things. But when we get to Tashkent, we're going to be fresh. We're not going to be tired. We're not going to be beat down. If I see that happening, if I have to lock the door of the wrestling room, that's what I'll do. But they need to be rested before they get to Tashkent.
Matt Lindland came to USA Wrestling this year as the new Greco-Roman national coach. Took over for longtime national coach Steve Frazier, who accepted another spot in the organization. Lindland is a past Olympic and world silver medalist and brings a strong background as both an athlete and a coach. He takes over a team that placed 9th at last year's Worlds, a finish Coach Lindland is confident they'll improve on.
I love the team. I think it's a great group of guys. I think we've got a lot of potential in this group. We've got some veterans, and I'm excited about the young guys on the team as well, the guys that are first-timers. Get them out there, get them an opportunity to compete and see where they're at. And it's been a great camp. You know, we had, always the goal is to come out of camp better than you went into it, and no injuries. You know, everybody's healthy.
It's always good.
Everybody's healthy and feeling good. I think everybody's kind of tired of this environment, though, and we're ready to get overseas and get our final phase of training camp in Kazakhstan, and then head over to the World Championships. I'm a big believer in training and is got to be fun, and if things get a little stale in the wrestling room, which no matter what kind of training you change up, it's still wrestling. It's still in the wrestling room every day in the same environment. So I like to get the guys off the mat for one day of active rest and get them up in the mountains, get them on the water, get them ice skating, whatever it is. We've done a lot of activities on our day off. We call it active rest because we're not really resting. We're just doing a different activity and cross training, and so it's a lot of fun. It builds team camaraderie and getting outside. I mean, some of those workouts were just as hard, climbing the incline or throwing that 20-pound medicine ball over a volleyball net, a couple hundred times is just as hard as any workout. But it feels different, and it's outside sometimes, and I believe in connecting with nature. I think it's vital to the soul to get outside and connect with nature. And what better place? We're in Colorado, and nature's all around us. We just got to get outside of the city here for a couple minutes.
Well, the wrestlers aren't the only ones working at the World Championships. They'll be joined by an outstanding support team that'll assist both the coaching staff and the athletes. This week, USA Wrestling announced the volunteer World Team coaches who will help guide the team into battle. In men's freestyle, World Team coaches Tom Brands and Cale Sanderson, two of the biggest legends in the sport today, will join Bruce Burnett's staff. They have quite a lot in common. Both are past Olympic champs, with Brands winning in '96 in Atlanta and Sanderson grabbing his gold at the Athens Games in 2004. The two currently coach major Division I programs, with Brands at the University of Iowa and Sanderson at Penn State. They also are both personal coaches for some of the team members, including Tony Ramos, who Brands coaches, and Brent Metcalf as well. Sanderson coaches both Ed Ruth and Jake Varner. Both have also served as Olympic coaches, Brands in 2004 and Sanderson at 12, so some experience to build on. The World Team coaches on Terry Steiner's women's freestyle team include Alex Conti and Afsun Johnston. Conti is a club coach at the New York Athletic Club and a very successful high school coach as well from Fredonia, New York. He'll join the women's world coaching staff for the second straight year. Meanwhile, Johnston was one of the pioneers of women's wrestling in the U.S., competing in the early years before the sport was on the Olympic program. She was a world silver medalist and a world bronze medalist, also won 3 U.S. Open titles while making 4 women's world teams. As a coach, she's helped lead Team USA on 5 international tours within the last 2 years. Well, in Greco-Roman, joining Matt Lindland's staff will be world team coaches Mark Halverson and Ahad Javansali. Halverson coaches one of the top youth wrestling programs in the country at the Concord Youth Center and is also the head coach at De La Salle High School. He's a club coach for world team member Robbie Smith and has coached U.S. junior world teams and served as event director at the junior Greco-Roman duels. Javansali was a Greco-Roman star for Iran, competing in 2 Olympic Games and winning 4 Asian Championship medals. Since coming to the United States, he's been an active coach in the high school, college, and club levels, mostly in Oregon. He's coached U.S. teams at the World Cup in Iran and the Grama Cup in Cuba this year. USA Wrestling would like to extend the thanks to these coaches for their commitment to training all 3 U.S. teams for the World Championships. When we return, we're going to be talking about the social media phenomenon that's sweeping the world. It's called the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We'll tell you more after this.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level, and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Well, as we said, there has been a social media phenomenon sweeping the world called the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. The challenge was created to raise awareness and funding for the neurological disease known as ALS, commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The rules are simple. A person is challenged by a friend to have a bucket of ice water poured over them and then challenges somebody else to do the same. The ALS Association has raised over $88 million so far, with more donations coming in daily. Like many others, the wrestling community has stepped up in a big way to support the initiative. From their wrestling camp at the Olympic Training Center, the U.S. Women's World Team took the plunge in a cold tub with a chilling temperature of just 10 degrees Celsius. Take a look.
We're the 2014 U.S. Women's World Team, and we got nominated for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge by Matt Linden and Clarissa Chun. So we have some nominations of our own.
This is 10 degrees Celsius, by the way, super cold.
I'm Melissa Lampy. I'm already freezing, but I nominate my mom skis, Judy Lampy.
Oh my god. I'm Whitney Condor, and I nominate Paul Titus.
I'm Helen Lewis, and I nominate our chiropractor, Dr. Kristen Kells.
I'm Allie Reagan, and I nominate Sarah Hildegren.
I'm Jennifer Chen, and I nominate Heather Linden in sports medicine. My name is Linda Joshkova, and I nominate Valentin Kuika. Oh my god.
I'm Randy Miller, and I nominate strength coach Brandon Cycle.
I'm Absolute Johnston, coach, and I nominate Byron Johnston.
I'm Madeline Craig, and I'm not drinking this water. I made my donation.
While other wrestlers have taken the challenge, including Olympic champ Jordan Burroughs, Olympic medalist Coleman Scott, Clarissa Chun, National Greco-Roman coach Matt Lindland, National women's coach Terry Steiner, myself, and countless others. We hope you do too. Well, from Colorado Springs to Nanjing, China, site of the 2014 Summer Youth Olympic Games. Team USA had 3 wrestlers competing at this prestigious event. They qualified through a series of top tournaments on the FIDA cadet age level. Many of the best 15 to 17-year-olds in the world are in competition there in all 3 Olympic styles. The first up for the U.S. was Blair Academy sensation Mason Manville. Manville was a cadet world champion freestyle this year and also won national titles as a junior and a FILA junior. He got off to a strong start in Greco-Roman at 152 pounds. He won his pool competition by stopping opponents from New Zealand, Peru, and Germany by a cumulative score, now get this, 23-3. In the finals, he was edged out by cadet world bronze medalist Islam Begdadov of Azerbaijan 1-0. Tight match indeed. Came home with the silver medal, though. It was only the second medal ever won by an American at the Youth Olympic Games. The last, Jordan Rogers. He won a freestyle silver medal in 2010. On the final day, U.S. coach Sarah Bahura sent out a pair of freestyle stars. Who were they? California's Kate Olivas at 101 and Oklahoma's Dayton Fix at 119. Both Americans were dominant in pool competition. Olivas scored impressive victories over Turkey, Nicaragua, and Egypt to qualify for the finals. And Fix blasted his way through the pool by defeating opponents from Macedonia, South Africa, and Yemen to reach the finals as well. We go to the gold medal round at 101. Olivas was defeated by Ismail Gadjev of Russia by a close 3-1 margin. Fix also came up just short in the finals at 119, dropping a close 7-6 decision to Kazakhstan's Muhammad Kuyatbek. The U.S. would finish with a pair of freestyle silver medalists, which means the U.S. athletes went 3 out of 3 at the Youth Olympic Games. Congrats to Mason Manville, Kate Olivas, and Dayton Fix on their great performance and for representing our nation so well in China. When we return, we'll head to Belgrade, Serbia. Stay tuned.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Now it's time to head to Belgrade, Serbia, the first day of the Veterans World Wrestling Championships. The U.S. sent a large and talented squad to compete, a roster of 6 past veteran world champs there and 18 past world medalists as well. The first day included freestyle action in Division B, E, and F. Capturing a gold medal in Division F at 138, the amazing Shirzad Ahmadi of Connecticut. He went 4-0 in a 5-athlete round-robin competition to earn his 10th career Veterans World Gold Medal, a record that makes him the most successful American veterans wrestler ever. Winning his first Veterans World title, Pennsylvania's Edward Elyasenka in Division B, doing so at 187 pounds. He won 4 matches on the way to the title, defeating Islam Guliev of Azerbaijan. The U.S. had a pair of silver medalists in Kevin Hejnal of California in Division E at 167 and Craig Johnson of Colorado in Division E at 152. 4 other Americans came home with medals, bronze ones this time. Kurt Beinlich of Wisconsin in Division E at 152. Steve Barkman of New Jersey in Division F at 138. Bruce Moe of North Dakota in Division E at 167. And Chris Brown of Maryland in Division E at 187. Special thanks to our international photographer Robert Whitman, who sent us these great shots from the first day of action. Tune in next week for an update on the final 5 days of wrestling in Belgrade. Well, the wrestling community is like a big family, and when tragedy hits, everyone is affected. We're sad to report that earlier this week, a plane crash took the lives of 3 college wrestlers from Case Western Reserve in Ohio. 4 young men were killed when a Cessna plane crashed outside Cuyahoga County Airport near Cleveland Monday night. The 3 Case Western Reserve wrestlers who we lost include 20-year-old Lucas Marcelli of Massillon, Ohio, 18-year-old Abraham Pishavara of Rockville, Maryland, and 18-year-old John Hill of St. Simons, Georgia. Officials are still investigating the crash. Marcelli was named as the NWCA Scholar Athlete last season and recorded the most victories on the team, going 30-12 as a freshman at 149. On behalf of USA Wrestling, all of us send our condolences to the families and friends of those who were killed, and we ask the wrestling community to support Case Western Wrestling at this very difficult time. Well, major news now to report out of Fresno, California. Fresno State's president, Joseph Castro, told the Fresno Bee that the university will reinstate the wrestling program. Although Castro has talked about the reinstatement in the past, he said this time it's a reality.
It's not a question of whether we're going to do it or not, it's a question of when. So I've said that before, but I'm not sure that you guys have heard me say this. So it's no longer a question of whether or not. That decision was made in my 100th day when I said we're going to do it. We have the report, we're looking at it, and I expect to make an announcement later this fall. We have a little bit more work to do, Mark. We're trying to close out the Office of Civil Rights review that's been going on for a decade, and we're very close.
Fresno State dropped their wrestling program in 2006, a team that had been highly successful and very popular in the community. Among the stars from the Fresno State program, 3-time NCAA champ and Olympic silver medalist Stephen Abbas. USA Wrestling salutes Fresno State for stepping up for college wrestling and making the commitment to bring the sport back. In other college wrestling news, South Dakota State University has announced the NCAA champ and top freestyle star John Reeder will be joining the staff as an assistant coach. Reeder was an NCAA champ in 2011 and a 3-time All-American for Iowa State. He's currently one of the nation's top freestyle stars at 189 and was a U.S. Olympic Training Center resident athlete for the past few seasons. Reeder has represented the U.S. at the World University Championships and won gold medals at the Dave Schultz Memorial International the last 2 years. The Michigan native will now assist head coach Chris Bono in an effort to revive the Jackrabbit program after an improved season in the Western Wrestling Conference. When we return, we're going to tell you about the new members of the FILA International Hall of Fame. Stay tuned.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
One of the many highlights of the World Wrestling Championships is the induction of the new members of the FILA International Wrestling Hall of Fame. This year, there will be 16 people inducted, none, however, from the U.S. The 2 champs named in the Legends category include some of the most successful of all time. Uzbekistan's Artur Tamazov, a 3-time Olympic champ, 1-time Olympic silver medalist, and 2-time world champ, is going in as a legend. Also honored as a legend, the late Wilfried Dietrich of Germany. You remember him as the heavyweight who threw 400-pound Chris Taylor in that very famous wrestling poster. Dietrich won 5 Olympic medals, including 3 in Greco-Roman and 2 in freestyle, including a 1960 Olympic freestyle gold medal. The female inductees this year include 2-time world champ and 6-time world medalist Sarah Eriksson of Sweden. Olympic bronze medalist and two-time world champ Lise Legrand of France. Greco-Roman stars inducted this year: world and Olympic champ Zasalik Ushkemperov of Kazakhstan, Olympic champ, two-time world champion, Olympic bronze medalist Mikael Lundberg of Sweden, and two-time Olympic champ and two-time world champ Sim Kwang-ho of Korea. Men's freestylers to be inducted include Aslan Kardashev of Soviet Union and Uzbekistan, a three-time world champ and world bronze medalist, Olympic champ and three-time world champ Pavel Penegrin of Russia, Olympic champ, two-time world champ and Olympic bronze medalist Rasul Khayyam of Iran, three-time world champ and two-time Olympic medalist Besik Kudakov of Russia. Two officials, two coaches, and a team leader will be inducted in Tashkent as well. Our congratulations go to the 2014 class of the FILA Hall of Fame. Nice job, guys. Hey, it's time for the USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and are being considered for the photo contest page in USA Wrestlers Magazine and the USA Wrestling Facebook page as well. This week's photo was sent in by Buck Rhodes and shows members of Top Team from Smyrna, Delaware, a group of 5- and 6-year-old wrestlers who are friends and teammates. You can have your photographs considered for our contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. From all of us at USA Wrestling, we'll look forward to talking to you next week. I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.